Ben Habib. Deep breath. Ah, now Ben Habib. He used to be the deputy leader of the Reform UK Limited Party, which isn't a party at all. It's a company, hence limited liability. But you see, a few months ago, back in I think it's July time, Ben Habib got sidelined. And he ain't happy, no. He had a bit of a hissy fit. Well, anyway, before I get into it, be most kind and boop the old a like button. Helps the channel, you know. You see, Ben Habib isn't one of my favourite people, no. He's a nasty piece of work. And quite frankly, I'm quite glad he is sidelined, because if there is any chance of a Reform Party leading the United Kingdom, I'd rather it be without Ben Habib. There again, I'd rather it be without Nigel Farage and basically the rest of them. And Anne Waddlebottom. Ooh, Anne Waddlebottom. Ooh. Anyway, that's another channel. Now, you see, the Reform Party is already starting to fall apart. Now, you see, little old Ben Habib. The childish, petty Ben Habib. He's having a hissy fit, that he is. And he's now doing the rounds, telling everybody that, oh, it's not a real party. Well, we all know that. It's a limited company. There's no getting away from that. As you can see here, it is most certainly a limited company. Reform UK Party Limited, yes. It's basically as a business with shareholders. With Nigel Farage being the majority shareholder. With a party that keeps getting money. It's had 600 odd grand in donations of late. And also it's likely to get $100 million, around 78 million pounds sterling from that numpty Elon Musk, who needs to be stopped one way or another, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so Ben Habib is going around telling everybody that it is a company and there's no way to make it into a party. There is no legal way of doing it. You see, because it's a shareholding company, with Nigel Farage holding majority of the shares, and not, well, which Tice likes holding some as well, because he lent some money to the party when it was in a bit of trouble. Yeah. Well, how it used to be, you see, when Nigel Farage was very busy, wasn't he busy? He was busy, swanning around in the United States, sucking up, kissing the ring of Donald Trump, and maybe a little bit of chocolate starfish action. I don't know. Whatever you're into, Nigel. Well, Nigel Farage, he decided, I think he might stand a chance, you see, getting MPs into Parliament. And he did. Anyway, back in July, what have you, he sidelined a few of his principals in the Reform Party. You see, Richard Tice was the leader. He got downgraded to deputy leader. He thought, okay, at least I've got some sort of job. I don't think he was very happy, though. No. But you see, the previous deputy was Ben Habib. So he got demounted. That he did. Blind me. And he's having a hissy fit. Because he's a petulant child. That's what Ben Habib is. But he's also a nasty, horrible little man who likes to see the migrants drown. I'm not sure it's a pastime for him. I bet he's got a load of snuff videos of them or something like that. Yeah. That, along with his box of tissues beside his bed. You know what I mean? That's the kind of man that Ben Habib is. Well, I should laugh because the idea of the Reform Party ever being in power is it's worse than Trump. They're useless. Oh, people said in my comments today, they said, oh, well, the Reform Party is very popular. Yeah, I replied, well, they ain't capable though, are they? They might be popular, but they're not capable. They're as much use as an ashtray on a motorbike. Idiots. Anyway, If you are members of the Reform Party, you have a screw loose. You're no different to the MAGA hats in the United States. Clearly. I'm just going to say it as I see it. You are not clear of thought. You do not know what the Reform Party is actually about. You think you do, because they've told you as such. But their agenda is not what you think it is. You see, they're all getting together with Elon Musk, who's supporting other fascist parties, like the AfD, Nazi Party, the Alternative for Deutschland. They've got swastikas tattooed on their ring that they have, Anyway. And Elon Musk is sucking up to all the right-wing parties. Donald Trump, Reform Party, Meloni, in Italy. He ain't worried about France just yet, but no, that's fine, isn't it? Trump has sent his Bannon. Steve Bannon was there, sucking up Marine Le Pen. I think even she was uncomfortable about the stuff that was coming out of Steve Bannon's mouth when she presented them to one of her rallies. And he was going on about, we're racism, we're pride, on your wrist or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said. He knows full well that wouldn't get her in. No. I wonder if Elon Musk will be supporting older Wilders next in the Netherlands. Who knows? You know what they're about. He likes a geezer in Hungary, that I do know. Crikey. Eyeball, whatever his name is. That's Orban. That's it. Orban. Victor Orban. So anyway, Nigel Farage, he pushed old Ben Habib out. So Ben Habib having a hissy fit. And a few weeks ago, he was on GB News, he was, yeah. And he was, he's been interviewed by this weird geezer. He's very weird. You can't get much more weird than him, I'll tell you. He's a crikey. What is his name again? I can't remember his name. I don't even want to know his name. I don't want to know. No, don't tell me.
Smashed through the 100,000 members mark and claimed that Dame Andrea Jenkyns, as one of their own, their former co-deputy leader Ben Habib, announced today at the same time that he was to sever his ties with the party. And we can now speak with Ben Habib, who's in Warsaw on his way back to Britain. Ben, welcome to the show. The first question I've got to ask you is, what drove you to quit like this, and why did you do it so publicly?
He's a child.
Well, the final straw for me, the major issue here was some ideological differences with the party, but essentially the party, in my view, not really democratizing. They promised they would democratize Zeya Yusuf, and
he knows, or he knew back then, that it wasn't a democratic party. You can't have democracy when you've got shareholders. You see, that's capitalism. There's no democracy in capitalism. There isn't.
I'm glad you got Christopher there, because he did a brilliant interview with Zeya Yusuf on the 22nd of August, when Zeya said he had the finest
league. Zeya Yusuf, he is the geezer who, he's donated around 200,000 to the party.
Minds working day and night to produce a constitution that would democratize the party. And actually, when that constitution turned up, it was a reheated document from 2022, which I'd already rejected. It had been changed a bit, but I doubt very much it had any legal minds having looked at it, given the way that it was drafted. And the other promise that Nigel himself made was that the party, which is a limited company, would be converted from one limited by shares to one limited by guarantee. And actually, legally, that's not possible. You can't convert a company limited by shares to one limited by guarantee. And indeed, no applications have been made to the Electoral Commission for any change in structure. And the democratization issue is fundamental to me for reasons that I hope I made plain in my little tweet.
Now, let's be honest. We know exactly why you're not happy. You're not happy because you lost your job as deputy leader of the Reform Party. All this started since he got kicked out, basically. And then, made a nobody. Well, he's a nobody, to be fair. So he got kicked out. So he's unhappy about that. He thought he was too special to be kicked out. Yeah, special. He just wanted his Brexit, yeah. A no-deal Brexit, that he did. And unfortunately for him, he didn't get it, no. We might as well have had it, because this flippin' trade and cooperation agreement is awful, because this country, the United Kingdom, or group of countries, you know, the Union, decided not to abide by the actual agreement itself. It's like hop, skip and jump constantly. It's ridiculous. Anyway, Ben Habib, he's not happy because he got sidelined, all right? Richard Tice got his job and he lost his job because Nigel Farage wanted to become the leader again of the party because he thought, hang on, we'd stand a chance here, which they did. He said, obviously, Richard soon announced the election. But who is Ben Habib? What is he really about anyway? Well, Ben Habib is about drowning people. Yeah, he likes the idea of drowning people. He might say he doesn't like the idea of it, but you keep going on about it, you know. He's yeah. Let me, oh crikey, enlighten you. Oh blimey. Oh, there he is. Okay, with Brewer, whatever her name is, Julia Hartley Brewer, on Talk TV, and yeah, I'll skip most of it. Get to the point. There we go. I would if it worked. What's going on here?
I agree with all of that. At the point when they use the tactic of jumping into the sea and they're drowning, are you saying that British Border Force and the British Navy will be instructed not to rescue those people from drowning?
No, you didn't hear me. I said that we could, as an idea, provide them with another dinghy into which to climb and then go back to France. And if they choose to scupper that dinghy, then yes, they have to suffer the consequences of their actions.
Then you would leave them to drown?
They cannot, absolutely, they cannot be infantilized to the point
I have no doubt, Ben, that that is a policy that would work quite well. However, that is not a policy that a civilised country should endorse.
Why is that uncivilised, Julia?
Because we don't need people to drown. Because we're civilised human beings. I don't want these people here. I don't think they should be infantilised either. But I wouldn't leave someone to drown. No, I wouldn't. And I don't think there's anyone in Border Force or the Royal Navy who would do that.
Well, I'm afraid border force means using force at the border. If we're not prepared to use force at the border, we will have open borders. And the presumption of your question goes to the heart of the problem in the United Kingdom. We don't protect our borders because we don't have the political will or courage to do so.
I agree with you on that.
Border control is a physical process. It's not a legal one.
We have to collect them from the water and then remove them back to France, whether the French like it or not. I could understand that as a policy.
Dinghies and they can go, or you give them a boat which they can't splash again, or you give them lifesavers and you tell them to swim back into whatever. You can have any number of options to deal with the problem. What you don't do is give into the blackmail, effectively, of we are here, we're going to self-harm ourselves unless you take us to British shores.
Okay.
You don't give into that.
Ben, I'm genuinely, I mean, as much as I want this issue solved, I couldn't ever sign up to that, and I don't think most civilised people could. I really don't, no matter
I don't think it's uncivilised. I think it's a matter of border enforcement.
Right, Ben, we're going to have to leave it there. Ben Habib, I very much appreciate you joining me. Thank you.
I don't know what to say to that. People's lives, they're that desperate, you know, they could do it otherwise, are they? No, some people argue that, oh, they were safe in France, maybe they were, but that's not where they intended to head, was it, you know? Whether we like it or not, they're still in the water, and there's international law, maritime law regarding people who are lost at sea, or risk at sea, or in imminent danger at sea. You see, the door swings both ways, doesn't it? You know, one day it could be you on their borders, somebody else's borders. As soon as these countries realise, oh yeah, we just poke them back in with a stick, like we do. I know, we'll give them a life preserver and expect them to swim back. What the heck was that all about? Swim back to France. What the hell? He doesn't know much about vectors, does he? They won't end up in France. They end up north somewhere. Or it's just... Oh. Anyway, so that's Ben Habib for you. And that is really what he is about. He's a horrible little man. And he's going around now whinging and whining and running down the Reform Party, which obviously I do not have a problem with, because it's not a party. He's right about that, and there's no way to make it a party. He's right about that as well. I've also checked on the Company's House website, and there's nothing changed. Nothing has been done. I did a video about this the other day, actually, and showed you. They haven't changed anything. Nigel Farage said back in September he was going to make it into his... He doesn't own the party. You can't do it. He hasn't done anything because he can't. The only way you can actually do this is actually form an actual party. And maybe convert, if this is even that's possible, maybe convert the Reform Party Limited into maybe, I don't know, a way of getting donations or something. The funding, I don't know. You tell me, leave in the comments down below, but please click the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the channel, you can do it on Patreon or Buyers Coffee, and the link's down below. But these people are awful. Can you imagine how bad it would be if they ever got into power? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Toodaloo.